30-year-old Masood is a civil engineer. He's been working with ISAF for 6 years. When a new building contract comes up, his firm will put in a bid, competing against an average of 4 to 5 other Afghan companies.
So while they have a new job, they will share it with some companies who has experience regarding that job, and then they will collect the bidding process and the quotation. So the one who was the best and with a good price, they will choose that one, maybe me or somebody else.
NATO is increasingly trying to put money spent in Afghanistan back into the hands of Afghans. 6 months ago, NATO launched a policy called Afghan First, which is aimed at getting countries to procure more locally. This creates jobs and helps boost the economy. It's something Afghans have long been waiting for.
They should come to us because, first of all, they have very high security and an Afghan cannot go inside their camp or near them. They should come to us because the rule of trade is that the client goes to the trader to buy. Well, at first, all contracts were for Afghans. Now there is no chance for Afghans. At the beginning, we ourselves used to supply wood to ISAF camps. I used to supply wood to Bagram, now it's over. They should buy from us. If they don't buy from us, we don't have factories in our country. So how are we going to benefit?
With an increased desire to award more contracts to Afghan companies, NATO's had to issue new guidelines in a bid to stem corruption and the indirect financing of insurgents.
We've set up 2 task forces to make sure that the money only goes into the hands of legitimate businessmen and indeed that we see local employment from it. We're absolutely determined that nothing we do here undermines our efforts to combat the insurgency.
While NATO as an organisation has signed off on the Afghan First policy, it's not easy getting the individual member countries here to participate. Each nation has its own views on how to spend its money, meaning some countries are doing better than others.
What about food safety? What about quality of the food chain? What about cold houses? There aren't any. And so it is really difficult then for the nations to go for a contract, to feed their own soldiers, to make sure that these soldiers don't get sick or ill. And so they choose then for the other option.
Another argument that's made against awarding contracts locally is that Afghan companies are sometimes accused of not being up to the job and not having the skills or staff to complete the project. In some cases, that may be true, but help is at hand for companies wanting to put together a more professional package.
We provide a bit of a vetting service of the almost 6,000 Afghan businesses we have in our database. They're all licensed, they're legally registered with the government, and we actually send a team out to where the business is to make sure that they are who they say they are, they do what they say they do, and that they do have some capacity. A year and a half ago, every uniform and every pair of boots being worn by every Afghan police officer and every Afghan soldier were imported from Pakistan, China, Indonesia, from all over the region. Now, the vast majority of them are being produced here in Afghanistan.
Mel Preen in Kabul, Afghanistan for the NATO channel.